catching you up. Good morning everybody, how's everybody doing? I hope everyone's good and enjoying the hot weather. I'm just in the office. Brought the fan with me today because it's so flipping hot. I know I keep saying how hot it is, but it's just ridiculously hot in here. We've got two windows, one there and one there, and you kind of do get a bit of a cross breeze because it's, you know, because it's on the corner of a building, but all the same it's just so incredibly warm. I've got to come back up here later because we've got a cleaner coming around to the house. And so I'm going to bring the dogs up here and they just kind of well, I'll probably go to sleep because it's so hot. I'm getting quite excited because I haven't checked my mailbox yet, and on the tracking number for the VESC, that's the speed controller for the skateboard, the new one, it's saying it's been delivered here, so I'm going to go check out the mailbox now. Oh yeah! Taking the biggest one first. God, that feels quite heavy actually. Yes, we have a VESC, guys. Look at this, big heatsink on the top, that's looking good. Feels really substantial as well. USB slot in the side of it, micro USB this time. I think they've changed that. And 3 really short phase wires. Don't think you get any connectors in here. No, you don't get any connectors, so you're gonna have to do a job on that. And yet another belt in the other package. Sorry if this is boring, all this belt talk. I just wanted to get like a few different ones from a few different suppliers, so I could see who is the best supplier and also find out who, you know, supplies the best belt as well, because there's so many different ones. And this one I've got at the moment, it feels like really loose. I don't know why. It feels a lot looser than the original one, so hopefully this new one will be a bit different, and that will make things better. But I'm excited to get the VESC on. I'll be doing that later. This feels a bit weird. I'm actually walking. Yeah, so the fan's blowing, everything's cooling down in the office, which would be good for me and the dogs later when I go back down there. And yeah, so I'm just walking back. I'd left the skateboard at the office because I'm not going to be able to bring the dogs down and ride the board. It just doesn't work. Anyway, just walking back home. Walking is so boring. Right, back in the office with these hounds. Time to take the skateboard apart. So to start with, you've got to take all these little hex bolts out, or little Allen key bolts. That's all they are, nothing complicated. Once you've got all these out, this just basically opens up. There you go, that's what's inside. So for those of you who don't know anything about brushless motor power drives or anything like that, this is the battery. So it's a 6-cell battery, it's all like nicely wrapped up in there. You've got this little lead coming out here, which is a balancing lead, which basically connects to each cell. This is a BMS, so it's a battery management system. We've got a power switch there. We've got a receiver, which is a 2.4 gigahertz receiver there, and this is your speed controller. So fan on the top, just a very straightforward speed controller, and that just goes off to the motor. So yeah, this is what we got to change, guys, this bit here. So for the power wires, they've just used these little, I think they might be Dean's connectors actually. Just use these, so I can just unplug that one. This is the receiver, so this is the signal kind of control for your throttle and brake and everything else. So just note what way that goes round. I'll get the camera in the right place. Yeah, just note what way that goes round, because you don't want to connect it the wrong way round. I don't think anything bad will happen, but you don't want to, it obviously won't work. You can see there's 2 rows of connectors here as well. It was on the bottom one. Each one is for different channel. So I think that's like channel 1 is at the bottom, channel 2 is at the top. So I'll put it back in exactly the same one, which was channel 1. Originally I was thinking of changing these connectors, but there's actually more than one thing going to there. You've got a receiver going off of this as well. So interestingly enough, the receiver looks like it's actually taking power directly from the battery, which is quite interesting. Didn't think they would run on like 22 volts. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is just remove the speed controller, take this plug off the end of here, put it on the new one. There's no connectors for the motor, so I'm just going to have to just cut these off, I think. So before I do anything else, I'm just going to try this for size. I want this heatsink really to be facing that little hole so that it gets a bit of airflow over it. There's no fan on this one, which is actually quite nice because that fan is so noisy on that other one. So it should be, because it's better built. It looks like I'm going to have to remove a bit of material there. Oh, it feels really loose, so that'll just come off, no problem. And then I can slot that in there, maybe tie wrap it around there on the top. Don't think that's going to be a problem. Right, there's no going back, guys. Here we go. Old speed controller, fed to the dogs. Right, so before I go to the trouble of actually like fitting anything permanently, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to connect up the controller and just do some tests and see if I can get it to work. Now at this point, it's important to remember that when you connect your motor wires, you know, there's a possibility that the motor could actually spin the wrong way because it's a 3-phase setup, but you know, it depends on the motor and the type of controller and everything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to temporarily connect them. Where's it gone? I'm going to temporarily connect the motor with these terminal blocks. So just 3 wires in there, and then just if the wheel spins the wrong way, then I can just turn it around easily rather than soldering it all up and then having a nightmare that way. Right, that's that bit connected. So I've got the old controller back off the dogs, and yeah, I just need this connector. So I'm going to take this connector off and then put it on the other side of the controller. Nice to see quite a good solder job on that already. That wasn't me. That was how it come. Right, that's moved over here because I need to take this off. You want a big tip on the soldering iron to do this sort of thing. Bigger the better, and pretty powerful soldering iron as well. Just get a little bit of solder and just, I've got this like helping hand thing here as well. This is the thing I picked up the other day. That just comes off like pretty easily. This side as well. Right, that's it, all off. Now we need to tin the ends of these to make sure you get a good connection on the connector. Come back over here and just make sure the connector, which part of the connector is actually positive. So that's the flat part when it's standing upright. So that's got to go on the bottom one there. Always remember to put your heat shrink on first. There's not a lot of wire on that. Might be a problem because these wires get pretty hot when you solder them, so that might actually end up shrinking. Right, so that's on there. Just got to do the heat shrink. Right, so that's all fitted and ready to plug into that. Right, we've got it plugged in. Let's turn on the power. Oh, it's a bit scary. We've got a red flashing light on there. Don't know if you can see it. It flashed a few times, but then okay. Let's try the remote and see if there's anything happening. Let's give it a little. Whoa! Oh my god! Right. Looks like it's set on some sort of strange backwards motion. Right, I need to get into the settings of this. This feels like there's a brake on at the moment. Just make sure. I better not. I better shut it down and check the settings because I might burn something out on the motor or something like that. But I think the wheel's going the wrong way around as well, so I'm going to have to flip 2 of those phase wires. No, he's going the right way. No, that's all right. I don't have to split them. Okay, let's get on to programming then. Right, so I plugged into the computer with a micro USB lead straight into the side, and I turned the board on, and then I launched the program. I think that's how you're supposed to do it. I've just hit connect and it's come up VESC up there, and you've got a little green thing. Well, it was green a minute ago. It says connected, and I think now what we've got to do is read configuration. So I'll try that. Right, there we go. Got the settings. I'm going to have a look closely at these. I'm going to quickly refer to Dr. Circuit's YouTube channel. He's done a really good video about upgrading the ESC to VESC, which is where I got a lot of this information from. So big shout out to Dr. Circuit. He's brilliant, really good channel about electric longboards, and I'll put a link in the description to the channel as well. Anyway, I'm going to check this video again and try and get the settings the same as what he was finding works on Chinese longboards. Right, so I've done my settings. I'm not going to go through all that because there's a video about that already. But basically, yeah, check that video out on Dr. Circuit's channel. Done the settings and I've written it to the controller, so I'm going to restart the controller and give it another try. Okay guys, this is going to take a bit more configuring, but I've managed to stop the reverse function and get it to kind of like what it was before. It seems a hell of a lot smoother. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it all back together and then let this USB lead out one of the holes in the side, so I can actually sort of take it for a little run and then, you know, adjust the settings based on that. This is crazy stuff though. The amount of stuff you can do in here is just bonkers. Right, it's all back together guys, temporarily. Oh, you can see the controller in there. I want to get that a little bit more straighter so it looks a little bit more professional, but I've got to, probably going to have to take it apart again because I've got to take this USB lead out once I get the programming right. So let's hop on and give it a little go to start with. Right, so one of the biggest problems was the rough start that you get with these boards. So let's try a little, I'm not going to go too far because I ain't got much room, but let's try a little start. Whoa, that is unbelievable. I just got to do that again because I can't believe it. what? That is unbelievable. There's no way that would have done that before. That start is so smooth. Oh, I'm liking this already. So I'm back at home. I had to walk the dogs back with the board. Oh God, it was so heavy carrying that board and the dogs as well and everything like that. But once I got back and got the dogs in, I gave it a little run around the block. My God, this is unbelievable. It's absolutely insane. Like, it smooth starts like so easily. Like, it climbs hills really progressively. And the best thing about it, there is absolutely no cogging on the braking. Like, literally, you can just put the brake full power and it will just slow down nice and slowly. The other thing is as well, it's completely progressive. So like, I was coming down a hill. Normally I'd come down a hill, like quite a steep hill, and I'd kind of be going, gritting my teeth and then pulling back on the brake, and then you'd get the cogging sound, and then I'd have to kind of get going again, and then it'd kind of do cogging again and all of that rubbish. But now you can just literally set the brake where you want it and just coast down the entire hill without having to really kind of do anything else, you know. And then you can increase the brake as you get slower, but there's no belt slippage whatsoever. It's an absolute dream to ride around now. I can't even believe it. It's transformed it. Like, everybody said the VESC was good, but honestly, a little bit of setting up, a little bit of like fiddling around, you know, basic soldering jobs and stuff like that, and you have got yourself like a premium skateboard. I mean, it's now like up there with a boosted board. And I was going to get a boosted board. I was actually going to order like an official boosted board. The reason I didn't is because they're based in the States. It takes ages to get the shipping over. And at the moment, there's like a pre-order. And, you know, they're saying that they're going to be shipping them and then they haven't been. And it's just been a nightmare. But I mean, I'm glad I've done these upgrades to this board. It's just a completely different animal now. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, because I left the USB lead stuck in there and it actually fell out while I was riding along. So I'm going to take it all apart again and I'm going to put it back together like really neatly. And then, yeah, I'm going to go and have some fun on it, I think. Right, so I'm out and about, guys. I just want to show you the brakes. Look. Oh, car's coming. This is kind of like my rear view mirror. Check out these brakes. It's unbelievable how smooth it is. No more cogging. So this hill previously would have been a complete nightmare. It's quite a steep hill downwards. No brakes at all. See how fast you pick up speed. Put some brakes on. I'm catching you up. Coming in, top speed. Top speed. See ya. Oh, I like your lights. Right, back at home. Vlog's uploading. It's taking ages tonight though. Yeah, I just picked a cheeky little Indian up from Cinnamon Tree in Housted, and they sorted me out a few freebies. Oh yeah. So Sarah should be back any minute. She went out today with her friends. And so I said, yeah, I'm going to get a few little Indian bits and we can share the stuff when we get back. The Indian at the end of the road in Housted is actually really good because they do like loads of vegetable dishes. Like, you can have them as sides or mains, but generally we just kind of get loads of different ones and then just like, we just sort of dig in really. Do love an Indian. These barges are probably the best barges you're ever going to find. Back out here again, guys. Oh, it's a bit colder tonight though. Definitely feels like there's a bit of a chill in the air. Anyway, good day today. Really, really impressed with that VESC. I think it's just, I went for probably like an hour-long ride or something like that earlier. I just couldn't resist it. It's just so much fun now. It's like transformed basically like a skateboard that's probably like on the verge of being dangerous because the brakes don't work properly to like something that is actually like proper. You know, it's actually like a usable mode of transport now. Whereas I was kind of winging it a bit because the brakes were like, you know, weren't really working properly. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching. Saturday tomorrow, so yeah, we're going out tomorrow. I think it's in the evening though. But anyway, gonna vlog tomorrow and we'll catch you again soon.